Hello and welcome to the F1 2013 career mode here on the James Early YouTube channel. We're starting in Marussia alongside Jules Bianchi. We've got the Australian Grand Prix today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump straight into this one. I am running 100% race distance, but short qualifying. There was a reason for this. I recorded this like a week ago. There was a reason for this. I don't remember the reason, but I was using short qualifying for race 1. I might change it for race 2. I'm not sure. Let's just go into the video. I'm also a very smart man who forgot to record the qualifying session for round 1. So we have this terrible graphic I made in 10 minutes on Photoshop. Vettel on pole position alongside Nico Rosberg. Hamilton in the second, Mercedes in third alongside Alonso. We have Mark Webber at his home Grand Prix in 5th ahead of Raikkonen. Hulkenberg impressively up in 7th for Sauber. And then we have Felipe Massa. Sergio Perez and Jenson Button, the two McLarens, on the 5th row of the grid. Romain Grosjean in the second Lotus starts from 11th ahead of Paul de Resta. Jean-Eric Vergne in 13th. A debutant today, Esteban Gutierrez starting 14th ahead of the returning Adrian Sutil. Daniel Ricciardo at his home Grand Prix. The second Australian on the grid starting in 16th place. And then we have Pastor Maldonado ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Bottas making his debut today. Charles Pic has moved from Marussia to Caterham. He starts in 19th ahead of his debut teammate Guido van der Garde. And then we have Jules Bianchi and James Early, slowest of everybody, starting down in 22nd place. So no risk of rain, 58 lap race. It's going to be a two-stop strategy. Starting on the options, going to lap 12 for the prime tyres, then going to lap 35 for the prime tyres. Hopefully we can improve on our last place starting position and at least finish ahead of my teammate and potentially both the Caterhams as well. Let's get into it. Well, there's only one more thing to do, and that's go racing. The 2013 Australian Grand Prix is next. Right, first race on F1 2013, and we are starting as far back as you possibly can. The 5 lights are on, and we are underway here in Melbourne. Struggling to get away, already losing ground to my teammate Bianchi up ahead, so not the most ideal start as we hurdle on down towards turn 1 for the first time. Going to take it nice and easy. Already I see some contact up ahead. Bottas has had a stinker of a start on his debut. He's already dropped down to make that 22nd place for the Williams of Bottas, so we've moved past one car at least. Close off his line in towards turn 3, and there's a wing flying up in the air, multiple wings I think, as I've made contact there with Charles Pic and I've fallen back down to last place. Bottas around the outside of me through turn 3. What the hell is going on up ahead? I think Maldonado's got an issue. Both Williams tumbling down the order. It's Adrian Sutil. Adrian Sutil on his return to Formula 1 is missing a front wing, and I'm going to take advantage of that one. Up to 18th we go, maybe on the outside of Charles Pic. The Caterham disposed of as well, and in one sector we've gone from 22nd to 17th place. So it's Guido van der Garde, leader of the back markers, in 16th place, and it's me early in 17th. And Bianchi, my teammate, has made it through the mess of that first lap, and he's in 18th. So right now it's looking pretty good for the Marussia team. I also feel like I'm closing into van der Garde, so I could be on the back of them in a handful of laps. We're about to start lap 3, so DRS will be enabled. Lap 3, so DRS enabled now. Rosberg leads the way. The German in the Mercedes making an excellent start and overtaking Sebastian Vettel. As we are now closing up to these cars in front of me. I'm using the realistic AI mod, I think it's called. I've put a link in the description down below if you want to check it out. Makes the AI a more realistic level. It changes a few other things as well, like realistic damage and so on. Well, we didn't have the pace in qualifying. We got the pace in the race, though, to the inside of Van der Garde for turn 13. I thought he was going to turn straight across my car there. I forced him out wide. I forced him into the grass. That's the first dirty move from James Early in this career mode. I'm sure that's the first of many. Quite a slow-moving Sauber in front. I think he got cut up into turn 1. And now it's Gutierrez. This is his debut race, of course. Now he's under pressure from me. Yeah, qualifying, I wasn't very quick. But it seems race pace is much stronger. First time we got DRS in this race at the end of lap 4. There's a massive gap between, I think it's 13th place and 12th place. Like a huge gap. So we're right now. Oh, that's a wing on the floor. I was going to say we're right now battling for 13th place. It could be higher if that wing belongs to somebody in the top 10. I see cars. I see cars slowing down. And it is somebody inside the top 10. And they're causing a little bit of traffic. I think it is 10th place. You can just see them going into turn 9 now. Is that Ferrari? I think it's a Ferrari. And it is a Ferrari going very, very slowly. We'll take our time here. Pick off the positions if we can. on the exit turn. I think that's turn 12. It's Felipe Massa missing a front wing, and now I've got to run on Gutierrez. This is where I overtook Van der Gaard on a couple laps ago, but Gutierrez defends and holds on to that one. But we are up a position, up to 15th. I'd like you to let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see driver transfers, sort of like we did in the F1 2010 career mode, so we can switch drivers between teams, between the seasons. Might make it more interesting. I've heard also there's no tier system in this game, so the cars aren't going to improve or get worse or get better. But I could manually do that, I think, through the Ego database editor. So if you'd like to see those sorts of changes, please let me know by commenting down below. We are so close to Gutierrez here. I've dumped the Kers on the run to the tricky turn left-right chicane, whatever it's called. I don't know, turn 11 and 12. We made the move up. That's 14th place. As far as debut drives go, this is a very strong one from myself so far. But already seeing drivers in the pits. That's Jenson Button into the pits on the end of lap 8. He's either on some crazy 3 or 4 stop strategy or he had damage. But for now, we're up to 13th. And now we have a run on Daniel Ricciardo as well, who was busy battling his teammate Verne. To the inside of the Toro Rosso we go. The right-hander of turn 3. I've gone deep. I've got the position. It's another overtake. Another brilliant overtake as well. So Webber's set at 29.4 fastest lap. I'm a 32.5 fastest lap. So I'm 3 seconds off the pace of the leaders. So I'm not overpowered as such, but I seem to be much stronger than like the other back markers right now. I think I'm about 15 seconds ahead of my teammate. And Ricciardo's just dived into the pits. So that's another driver out of the way. I think there might be Perez in the pits as well. And we're up to 11th for now. So we're actually very close to the points. I've been told Verne in front is on the prime tyres, so he's at least going further into the race than I am. Whoa, that was close to the wall. I was not paying attention. Got loose on the exit of turn 4, and it was sending me straight towards the wall on the left. I was busy thinking about Gutierrez. A bit strange, I know, but he's sticking right with me. And I was thinking, well, I've got this new AI mod. I wonder if he'll actually attack me, unlike we've seen with the Codemasters AI in 2012. Or at least 2013 from what I've seen so far. They don't seem to like overtaking very much, but this AI mod is supposed to fix that. So I was thinking, maybe Gutierrez, if he gets a run, he might go for an overtake. Right, it's lap 12, so we're boxing at the end of this lap. Verne will stay out. He's on the hard compounded tyres, of course. Gutierrez might be pitting at a similar time to me, as I've got a run here on Jean-Eric Verne. This is where I overtook his teammate Ricciardo under braking into turn 3. Go deep into the corner, meet the apex, meet the outside of the corner as well, and we're into the points. 10th place, as there's been 2 retirements. Charles Pic and Daniel Ricciardo have both retired from the race. So we're down to 20 runners. Of course, sadly, HRT don't exist anymore, which is, I know, very sad. I am crying along with all of you watching. So we only have 22 drivers starting the races anyway. Time for our first pit stop on F1 2013. Let's see if it's a successful one. Gutierrez stays out. He actually got past Jean-Eric Verne the same lap I did. So Gutierrez, even though he's on the option tyres like I am, he's extending this stint past 12 laps at least. As we are very slowly going down the pit lane. It's a 59 or 60 kilometers an hour pit lane speed limit. We stop on our marks and away we go. I think we're going to rejoin. We're going to rejoin in clear air, very clear air. About 10 seconds clear of Bianchi and in 15th place. And there's a car rejoining in front. That's Gutierrez looking to get the jump on me. I was going to try around the outside of turn 1, but I really did not want to crash into him. So for now, Gutierrez at least is ahead of me. He's made the jump. He's made the overcut. I'm going to dump some Kers and get a run down towards turn 3. We're side by side under braking. And I edge ahead on the exit of the corner. Almost lose the car as well. And we're up to 14th. Meanwhile, battle at the front is Rosberg, Vettel, Webber, the top 3. Mercedes versus Red Bull, like we've seen in real life in 2021. We're seeing it in 2013. Gutierrez right now sticking with me. So I feel like we are definitely in the battle between like me, the Saubers, the Williams, the Toro Rossos. So I am definitely a step ahead of the Caterhams and my teammate Bianchi, at least at Australia. We might see something different as the season progresses, of course. I think F1 2013 does a great job at simulating speed and how speed actually feels with the TV pod offset camera. 2012 was the first game with the TV pod offset camera, and it just felt strange. It looked strange. But I feel like the 2013 cameras are much more, maybe not accurate to real life, but much better for a sense of speed. Gutierrez apparently in fuel conservation mode, so he's running in whatever it's called, the low mix, to save fuel. So he might be a bit slower. He's still within a second of me, so I can't shake him right now. But he's not close enough to make any sort of overtaking manoeuvres. Just saw a driver in the pits. I have a feeling it was Jean-Eric Verne, so we're up to 13th. He managed to go 19 laps on those tyres. It's got to be Verne, it can't be anybody else. Thinking back to my debuts on the other games we've done so far in this series, the Codemaster series on this channel, if you're new to the channel and you didn't know, we've played through 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. Now we finally reached 2013. In 2009, I think I won on debut for BMW Sauber. 2010, I'm pretty sure I scored points for Lotus on debut. 2011, I think, was the first one that wasn't a good debut. I think we may have finished down in about 19th place. And 2012, driving for HRT, I think we finished similarly down towards the back end of the field. So as far as debuts go, I'd say this is one of our stronger ones. Not as strong as 2010 or 2009, but definitely better than 2011 and 2012. The leaders are lapping 4 seconds a lap quicker than me, so I'm surprised they've not lapped me yet, because we've done over 20 laps. And if it's 4 seconds every lap, they've got to be close to lapping me, let's put it that way. In fact, I think Gutierrez has just got blue flags, so I am about to be lapped. As I'll allow the leader through. Bloody hell, Rosberg! Oh, that's going to give Gutierrez the position. That was my fault, really. I was too scared with the blue flags, thinking I'll get a penalty. And Gutierrez has got past me. He's got DRS as well. Let's see if I can fight back towards turn 1. I'll try my best. Towards the inside we go. I don't have the ability under braking to make that move. On the inside of turn 1 at Melbourne, it's never too easy to make a move anyway. And he's got another dose of DRS down towards turn 3. The Mexican is going to hold on to that place, so I've lost the position. We're touch and go on fuel, so I'm just going to run it in lean for a few laps just to give us a little bit of margin. And Verne, after his pit stop, was about 10 seconds behind. He's now only 3.8 behind, which indicates to me he might actually be on the option tyres right now. Of course, he started on the primes, so he's gone for a slightly different strategy. If he's on the options, I think he'll sail up to the back of me and overtake. That's a driver coming out the pits. I think that's a back marker. That's got to be a lap down, yeah. Whoever that is. Is that Hulkenberg? No, it's not Hulkenberg. It's a Williams. One of the Williams drivers is a lap behind me. Wow, Verne is quick. He's now within DRS range. He must be on the option tyres. Driver in the pits as well. Not sure who it was. But we've jumped back up to 13th. Gutierrez, who did overtake me when Rosberg was lapping me a couple laps ago, has just pulled away. He's 3 seconds up the road, so he was clearly hiding a bit of pace. As wings, there's got to be 2 wings there at turn 3. And is that a slow Mercedes? You know what? I have a feeling that might be the leader. It is not the leader. It's Adrian Suttle, who's already 2 laps down on the race lead. He's a lap down on me now as well. And he's missing a front wing again. I am running a custom setup with 1 wings because apparently that's supposed to be good in this game. Which makes me really slippery in a straight line, which might be why I'm not seeing these AI actually go for moves or even get close enough to pull side by side. Because Verne's clearly got a load more pace in his car compared to mine, but he's just not able to even get close to me down the straights. Another driver in the pits. It's Felipe Massa in the pits, and now I'm getting blue flags for his teammate Alonso, I think. Yeah, that's got to be Alonso. So interestingly, it is Alonso second, Rosberg first. Neither Red Bulls in the top 2 positions right now. Even though they're the drivers setting fastest lap after fastest lap, you would have just seen Mark Webber have set another fastest lap. But I've no idea where Verne's gone. He's just disappeared. And now Massa's the car behind. A big lock up by me into turn 9. That's the first actual mistake I've made today. I've got more blue flags. Who's that? Right, that's Webber. There goes Massa. That's for position. So we're down to 13th. And now we are lapping the drivers I should be racing. That's Guido van der Garde. I'm about to lap my teammate as well, as we are just close to hitting half race distance. So John Booth, who is the team manager, what would you call him, a team manager or team, what's his position? Let's say team manager. John Booth is not going to be happy with one of his drivers, Bianchi, but he is going to be happy with me because I'm doing a very good job. Vern has gone into the pits, so his short stint on the option tyres, very short stint. I think it only lasted 10 laps, maybe even 9 laps. He's put on the primes. Ha ha ha! You may have outqualified me, Bianchi, but I've lapped you by half race distance. I'm pretty sure Vern will probably go on to another set of the options with about 10 laps to go. So he'll have to pit again. The gap to Vern right now is 25 seconds, which might mean he'll jump me when I stop. But then I'm stopping for my final time. I'm pretty sure he has to stop again. An interesting top 4 right now. It's Rosberg leading the way ahead of Webber. Raikkonen is now in 3rd for Lotus. And can you guess who's 4th? Nico Hulkenberg in the Sauber is running in 4th place. So his teammate Gutierrez, who I've been battling with for most of the race. Gutierrez's teammate Hulkenberg is battling for a podium. Either Button's in the pits or he's out the race. He's in 12th place. And there is a driver in the pits, so it's got to be him. So the McLaren, we know McLaren aren't as strong this year, are they? And we actually might overtake him here. Into turn 1. Why not? Yeah, around the outside. Just about keep it on the track. He's on the option tyres, so we should be blitzing past very quickly. But for now, we've overtaken the McLaren. He's hit me. He's actually just... He just hit me. Okay, no damage done. And he's got a switchback on the exit of turn 3, and he's taken the place away from me. But there was contact there. Jenson Button decided to do a bump and run, which is, I assume, a NASCAR tactic. And he's overtaken me. Grosjean's now the car behind me, 40 seconds behind. So Vern, I don't know what's happened to Vern. Maybe he got damaged, maybe he had to box again. But the Lotus of Grosjean, who I'm guessing must have been one of the cars with damage at the start, is going to be closing in now. I've somehow got these tyres to the end of the stint. They look absolutely destroyed because they are destroyed, but we are boxing at the end of this lap, lap 35. And I do not have any pace over Bianchi at all. He's the driver behind me on track. I just about to see him go around turn 2 there. And I lapped him, I don't know, 5 laps ago, and I've just not pulled away. Grosjean's been passed by Bottas now. I have absolutely no idea what's going on behind me. It must be a mixture of like blue flags and damage and pit stops. And they keep switching positions and they keep falling further behind from where I am. And now there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Something's going on. I have no idea what's going on, but something is happening. Loads of drivers in the pits. So we're all sort of pitting at the same time. As we're in from position 13. Hamilton's now in 12th. What is going on up ahead? So we're boxing. Hamilton must have already been into the pits as well, yeah. There's the Mercedes crew. This is our second and final stop of the race. Nobody behind me, so we've now got the whole pit lane to ourselves as the Marussia crew get to work a 3-second stop. And we'll rejoin in the position we pit from, which is 13th. We are miles clear of Bottas. And now it's Hamilton in 12th with his teammate Rosberg in 1st. So Vettel's running in 4th place, outside the podium. And he's had 4 pit stops already. It's only lap 36. It's got to be to repair damage. I can't imagine he's actually on a 5 stop come the end of this race. I'll briefly talk about the handling model of this game. Compared to F1 2012, 2013, the car slides around a lot. As there's another yellow flag in sector 3. There's still 19 drivers running now, so we've actually had a retirement. It's Bottas who is retired, so it's a driver already behind me anyway. I don't think we're going to be scoring points today, but yeah, about the handling model. What would you call it? Yeah, handling model. The car slides a lot. I don't know if it's because I'm driving a really bad car, but even in time trial in the Red Bull, the car slides around a lot. And compared to 2012, I'd say it's less enjoyable to drive. 2013, I feel like I have less control of the actual vehicle. There's a wing there at the second to last corner, turn 15. That might be to do with Bottas's retirement. There was a yellow in sector 3, so that could be it. Hulkenberg in 12th place. Is he in the pits? Well, he's somewhere. He's 10 seconds up the road as Webber leads the race. There's been a change in leadership. Fernando is faster than you. Can you confirm you understood the message? Massa says, yes, I understand. And Massa's missing a front wing. This is the second time this race that Felipe Massa has lost the front wing. So we're going to move up to 12th. 20 laps to go. Mark Webber leads the Australian Grand Prix. Do you understand how big that is? Mark Webber, the Australian, leading his home Grand Prix. We saw Mark Webber dominate in, I think it was F1 2010, wasn't it? He won all 3 championships we did on that game. And then he had a bit of a lull in 2011 and 2012. But now it seems he is back to his best. And he could be taking the championship lead away as well as the Australian Grand Prix victory. And after the pit stop phase, Webber has fallen behind Rosberg again. So it's Rosberg first, Webber second. Mercedes versus Red Bull still on. The battle is still on. But it seems Rosberg is going to win today. Oh, there's another retirement. There's 2 more retirements. Down to 17 runners. I don't believe it. Raikkonen was lapping his teammate Romain Grosjean. And they've crashed together. Both Lotus drivers out of the race in the same incident. So we're going to move past Raikkonen. We're going to now move into 11th place in this race. 1 more retirement up ahead. We could be on for debut points. 16 drivers left. Another one has fallen out of the race. And could it be somebody in the top 10? I think it is. I think it's Jenson Button. I don't believe it. A race of attrition. Jenson Button has retired. And we are now in the points position on debut. Right now, I'm the filler in the 2008 World Championship fight. Hamilton in 9th, Massa in 11th, and early sandwiched in between. Rosberg is now a lap ahead of Vettel. He's 2 laps ahead of me as well. Vettel is a whole lap down on the race leader. Nico Rosberg. What's come over him today? Why is he so good? I don't think we're in 10th place on pure pace, I'll be honest, because obviously Massa's much quicker than me. A few drivers who have retired, of course, who should be ahead of me. Even whoever this is behind, the Force India of Adrian Sutter, who's a lap down on me. He's quicker than me, but he's just been in the wars today, you know, with the incidents. And because we've stayed clear of all the incidents, that's how we found ourselves in 10th place. Massa's 23 seconds behind, and there are 6 laps to go. So as long as he doesn't close by, what would that be, 6, 12, 18, 24, 4 seconds a lap, we'll be okay. He is actually catching by over 3 seconds a lap. Pretty much a second per sector. I think he will run out of time because I'm 2 laps down, so we only have to finish 56 laps. 3 and a bit laps to go. The gap is down to 16 seconds between me and Massa. He is catching. He's catching very quickly. 2 laps to go, and the gap is 11.8 to Massa. We've done enough. We've surely done enough to hold on to this. I'll tell you who's gone under the radar, though. Gutierrez, who's just been passed by Hamilton for 8th place. But he's held on in the points positions to Sauber driver in 9th. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we're starting the final lap now because we're 2 laps down. Adrian Sutter was trying to unlap himself, which is going to go great. He's still behind me. He is last place, by the way. He is 16th place. He must be 3 laps down on the race leader. The gap to Massa is 7.5, as there is a yellow, I believe, in sector 1 and 2. There's a wing on the floor there on the exit turn 5. Who could that be? It was Rosberg! I think it's Rosberg. Rosberg's just lost the lead to Webber in the second to final corner. Webber's going to win his home Grand Prix. What a result. Incredible. We're going to exit the final corner for the final time to finish in the points on debut. But Mark Webber, with 2 corners to go, took the lead and won the race. I cannot believe that. Mark Webber wins by 5 seconds by taking the lead. I don't know if we saw it in front. We might have just caught it on camera, Mark Webber's winning overtake, but he wins ahead of Rosberg. Alonso completes the podium. Sebastian Vettel, who went through the pits I don't know how many times, finishes a lap down in 4th place ahead of Perez. Paul di Resta up in 6th for Force India. Lewis Hamilton only 7th, a whole lap down on his teammate. Hulkenberg and Gutierrez, the 2 Sauber drivers, both in the points. And James Early for Marussia scoring a point, albeit finishing 2 laps down. I finished ahead of Felipe Massa. I finished ahead of Jean-Eric Vergne. I finished ahead of my teammate Jules Bianchi, who had a slower fastest lap than me by 1/10 of a second. So I was clearly not too quick during the race. I think everything just went according to plan, and we ended up scoring points. Of course, there was a handful of retirements. Jensen Button out. Raikkonen and Grosjean crashed together. Valtteri Bottas on debut, retiring in 20th place. Scholpik as well on debut. Is it his debut? Maybe it's not his debut. Anyway, 21st. And Daniel Ricciardo, its home Grand Prix, 22nd place. And Mark Webber has the lead in the championship for the first time in a number of seasons. Rosberg in 2nd place. And it's Alonso, of course, the same as the race results. So we sit in 10th place. Those are the rest of the standings. But the Constructors' Championship is very interesting. Very interesting reading here. Red Bull lead Mercedes. Ferrari in 3rd ahead of McLaren. That's quite normal, the top 4. And then we have Force India, Sauber and Marussia. 7th place. Racing under the Russian flag, of course, now. And we are ahead of our arch rivals, Caterham and Lotus, which is quite funny. Lotus is in last place. There we go. We're celebrating. Brilliant stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you want to support the channel further, consider becoming a channel member. And I'll see you all in the next race. Goodbye.